Welcome to Real Estate on the Rocks, where you get top shelf real estate conversations served straight up, never watered down. Here's your host, Dave Snowberger.
Welcome back to Real Estate on the Rocks. Ha! Welcome back. It's that time of day again, Real Estate on the Rocks, joined in the studio, the Real Estate on the Rocks Top Shelf Agent Studio with the co-pilot, Marshall Tucker.
What's going on?
Over here behind the glass, we've got the producer. We got Marshall moving around a whole lot, not realizing how sensitive these mics are, picking up all his shenanigans.
All right, we can hear you.
You good, Marshall?
I won't move the rest of the show.
Please don't.
Breathe.
Stay still. Just move your lips.
Now, really.
Just move your lips. James Mendez behind the glass.
What's going on?
I was expecting people to clap.
I don't have a clap.
What do you mean, what's going on? I stole what?
No, he stole my little intro.
What do you mean?
Because it sounded like, hey, what's going on? And so he goes like, oh, too cool. And then he says the exact same thing. See, like my style.
He was practicing earlier. I took it.
You're practicing for...
He was like, what's going on?
All right, let's just get into it today. We're going to talk a lot about mega open houses. I think we've covered open houses in the past, but this is one of those things is the more listings that we're taking right now, the more agents are coming to us and wanting to hold our properties open on the weekend, which we need. Obviously, we can't be everywhere all the time. And when you have multiple listings, having the help of the agents in your office provides you that leverage you really need. So I kind of run through questions, and they're like, agents in there sometimes they don't like to be questioned, right? Yeah. And so you just want to say like, so, okay, hey, what are you going to do for this open house? Like, well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to show up.
I'm going to sell it.
Can you put it in Zillow? And I'm like, yeah, that's what you do to prepare for an open house. Okay, well, hey, you got 5 minutes? Let's go over this list real quick. And this is the things we like to do. And so I like to come from contribution and hand this list out. And a lot of times they're actually appreciative of it and just they didn't even know something like this existed. And all they've really been told to do is go do open houses. So that's their thing. So can't fault them for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to mention this, and then we're going to post this up on the Top Shelf Agents page in
Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yep.
It's in Facebook, but it's going to be on Facebook.
Yes.
Right? Because you get
in one of our documents.
In, then you get on. Stupid. Monday, I show up to work. I want to do an open house. It's on my mind. I used to, you guys, a lot of people just kick that can down the road and say, hey, I'll decide during the week what I'm going to do. And maybe by Wednesday or Thursday, I'll land on open house or last minute. And then I'll set it all up and make sure that it's, I ask the listing agent if I'm doing it for, maybe another listing agent. I ask the agent or their admins or assistants and say, hey, did you put it inside of Zillow for me? Right. So that was my full proof plan of getting ready to do open house.
Yeah.
Then I started tripping across some really cool stuff as I gained more experience of being an agent. One I really liked was a fella named Kyle Whistle out of San Diego. The whales.
San Diego, SD.
Right.
Well, us Cali people.
Yeah. I was more thinking of the movie Anchorman. However, Kyle Whistle from San Diego, he had this cool thing that I tripped across one time on YouTube, I think. And I believe it was maybe he was speaking at a Tom Ferry conference, a TF conference. And he was talking about this great idea he had to open house, open bar. Right. So I'm not going to steal his whole plan. Well, actually, we've actually stole his whole plan and jacked it, R&D'd it, ripped off and duplicated his whole plan. However, I'm not going to plagiarize it and put it out here. However, I will put it up on the Top Shelf Agents page for anybody else to grab. We kind of rewrote it, so we transcribed what he had said, even though it was probably written down somewhere on the internet, and all we had to do was search it. I've got one of those awesome admins that just really kind of took the audio, listened to it, and then wrote everything down verbatim. And so we created it, R&D'd it, like I said, and so now we have it. Not going to go through the whole plan. However, I'm going to go through Monday, the checklist, the open house checklist, and I want you guys to fill in where you can of really the things you can do and the recommendations that will help a lot of our newer agents in the market, maybe some of the older agents that haven't thought about this, maybe some of the seasoned agents out there that need a little bit of help with open houses and really what to do. You can survive in business off of just doing open houses. I mean, really, if you're not a cold caller, or if you're not a lead follower upper, or a lead generator, you know, this is where it's at. Open houses is that low hanging fruit. I mean, you start doing open houses. You can do how many open houses in a week?
One every day.
Someone actually just did one on Friday that did pretty decent.
You can do 2 in a day.
Oh, up and up. 2 in a day.
You can do 3 in a day. I've actually heard of another fella named Glenn Twiddle. He's an Australia feller. Talks about over in Australia, they do the 30-minute open house. It might even be 20-minute open house. And we actually kicked it around. We actually did it once. And it semi-worked. But there was no like follow-up plan to it, you know, but we did an open house. It was, we announced that we were going to be doing 5 open houses within basically a 2-hour span. And the first address would be 123 Main Street. Everybody be there. And the people that came, and we're only going to be here for 20 minutes, and we let it know, and we let the sellers know, and the sellers thought we were goofy, which they weren't far off base. They thought we were goofy, and they're like, you're going to do an open house for 20 minutes? Like, exactly. And 20 minutes is all it takes for people who really want to know the property, who really want to see the property, to show up. Yeah. You know, let's show up, let's get them in, let's get them out. That's not going to be our only open house we do. Yeah. You know, you have to, you know, be able to have this conversation with the seller and tell them why you're doing this. Look, hey, I'm testing something out. I think it's kind of cool. It's unique. It's something different that nobody else is doing. Let's do these 20-minute open houses. And I guarantee you we have people listening to us right now is like, this dude's off his rocker. Why would you do an open house for 20 minutes?
Was that when it was already listed, or was that in the coming soon? Because I know now you obviously can't do coming soon in the MLS.
Yeah.
But I know some people are staging, like we did our open house for the one down the street, and how I thought it was a great plan. We said no showings until open house.
Yeah.
So that restricted it. So was your plan with the 20 minutes one when it was a coming soon stage, or was it already listed?
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
See, that seems like you're going to force people who are really interested to dive in as soon as they can, which is obviously before it hits the market, because you create that sense of urgency.
We've even done that too. Let me get this list out of my hand real quick. With one that Marshall had done, it was one of his listings, but I knew it was going to be a hot one, and it was kind of trash. So therefore, we could price it accordingly because we knew it was a hot little investor row of houses. Yeah. Most of them are owned by investors and rented out. Yeah. And it's in a great little neighborhood in Austin, Texas, and they just don't come up for sale. So we knew it was going to be hot. Yeah. So what we did was we just wrote contracts, and we left them blank. So we took contracts pre-filled out and all you had to do was add in your asking price, add in your earnest money, you know, and add in your name. And we had everything else predetermined, what title company it was going to, you know, the things that we control as the listing agents and as the sellers, we controlled. And so we had it going there. And Marshall went fully stocked and loaded. And then we had little envelopes that once they signed that, it went into a sealed envelope. Yeah. And we were going to, you know, talk to the sellers either that evening or was it the next day, one or the other. And that worked. We got a couple offers off that one. Mm-hmm. We didn't get as much as we wanted, you know, but, you know, it just, we didn't really drive up the price like we were hoping. But however, you know, I mean, it got well over the asking price, I believe. What they wanted versus what they got were two different things. And what they got was well over what they wanted. We'll just say that. Right. And so it worked. Right. Yeah. And so thinking out of the box, and especially in a market like Austin, Texas, it works. It helps. Yeah. You know, we've got another one coming up that's kind of the same thing right now. We're getting creative right now talking about those. I don't want to do an open house there. However, you know, it might be a good one for someone to do a similar situation to that.
We got a couple this weekend.
Yeah. Well, we have a great neighborhood coming up. So let's go ahead and talk about what we've been doing that one. It's you know, early in the week, so we can talk about this. So Monday is the day we pick the. Go ahead.
Pick the house that you think is going to is going to be your best bet for an open house. And one of the things we were talking about a while ago was not picking just any place in any part of the city, but finding one that's obviously fresh on the market and then has a high turnover rate. So you'll have more business
A
coming.
more desirable area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I first started, I was just like, well, I'll just try any house. I don't know the difference. Like a house is a house is a house,
It's been on
right?
the market 87 days.
Yeah. Oh no, so I didn't
it's
know
like
that.
2 hours out.
I took. Let's see. I did one open house, one that was sitting on the market, just because I wanted to get out there and learn some stuff. That didn't work out for me very well, but I did try and use. I found houses that were on the market, as the shortest amount of time possible. And
Right.
those ones at least got more traffic and stuff. I've only had one open house where nobody showed up.
Right. Okay. So if you go over to the notes real quick, everything that you're trying to say right now is right there on the notes. So pick the property.
Yeah.
Look for a home that is close to a populated area.
Yep.
Right. Then hold it the first week it's on the market. That's pretty crucial. If you can get one that's on the first week on the market or top second week, you just up your chances of getting more eyeballs on that property.
Yeah.
Especially if it's in a hot neighborhood. Unique features, obviously pool,
Yeah.
kitchen, upgrades, backs to a golf course, backs to water, has a sunset, has a sunrise, the unique stuff out there. Austin is full of unique properties, right? Yeah. So we've got our cookie cutter neighborhoods. However, we've got some unique stuff that, man, it seems like people will pay $100,000 over what that property is going for, which is the craziest thing.
Yeah.
If we can get our hands on those houses, that's where it's at. A lot of times we've had 15, 20 listings before, and we'll look into it like, I don't want to do any of these open houses. Let's get somebody else's. And so we reach out to a team that maybe doesn't have the even volume that we have. And that's the cool thing about this is it's not about that. It's just about finding a home that works for us that weekend to try to drive traffic to hopefully bring a buyer in to hopefully buy that house. If not, buy one that's like
Buy
it.
something, right?
Yeah. So, okay. Let's get on to Monday here says, after you've chosen your house, it seems a little premature to do this. What do you guys think?
At least by Tuesday, you need to have.
Yeah, I'd say we need to jump this back one day to Tuesday. I'll talk to whoever wrote these notes. Me. Monday, print and mail physical invitations to 50 of the closest neighbors to the open house.
Yep.
That can get scary. I'll give you the one caveat right there was that we did this. We had a builder open house that they called us like, hey guys, we know you sell a lot of homes in this neighborhood. We were hoping you would help us out and do an open house. Yeah. We think we're just right there on the verge of getting it sold. So I spent $250 or so on mail outs and invitations and everything else to the open house that we're about to, say right here, the same plan, put it all together, send it out. And Friday he calls and say, oh man, I'm going to have to cancel your open house. We really appreciate you doing it. However, we took a contract on it and it's good.
We're still doing the open house.
And that's what I tried to say. I was like, dude, we're still doing the open house.
People are going to show up. Do you not realize this?
Yeah. And he fought us tooth and nail on it.
Yeah.
And anyway, so that was a scary one. However, it doesn't happen all the time. And typically right now, hopefully you're in tune enough with your office or market center, or your team might be big enough, or your brokerage might be big enough for you to have opportunities at doing all the stuff that's coming soon, doing that first weekend on the market.
Yeah.
Tuesday we have here social media ads. So you Facebook target the neighborhood within a 1 mile radius of the home. Facebook Public and Craigslist. You guys use Craigslist?
Yeah, occasionally.
Yeah?
On Facebook, too, video, very important.
Yeah.
The copy.
Make that note there.
All right.
There we go. That way, once we do this again, Facebook Public, I think what they mean right there when we did this and talked this out was it had to be public facing side to the video or doing some video and throwing it out there on Facebook, because everything we do is on Facebook and a lot of it's video. Craigslist I've done in the past. I have never really done anything like that for open houses, but I'll take our word for it since we wrote it down. Wednesday we're going to go out. Go ahead.
On Tuesday, I like to go ahead and open up list reports and throw that address in there also, so we can start populating that.
Okay, a lot of people don't know what list reports are. Let's break that down real quick.
The demographics of the house, makes it a nice little presentation. You can also share it from there, and they can jump on there and register. So.
All right. So, listreports.com. Yeah, check out
the lender would set it up for
check out listreports.com. Yeah, lender sets it up for us because he subscribes to List Reports. However, not everybody has that, nor do all the lenders have that. So,
Yeah, but it's good on the backside. A lot of families were coming in and asking questions about the. Well, actually, people in general are asking questions about the area and some of the stuff that it offers. And although you try and learn, obviously, as much as you can about an area, you can't memorize everything. So I was like, oh, yeah, it's actually right on the other side. I was like, flip the paper over, and it tells you about the schools. And
infographic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they're like, oh, that's awesome.
Right.
And so it's just good little.
My point was, I think you both missed it, was not everybody has, knows, or pays for List Reports.
Well,
and so
just saying it's
and it might not be available in every single market. However, check it out, listreports.com. Send us our check.
Everyone knows what Facebook is, right?
No.
Someone's mic's about to get pulled right off their head.
I'm still trying to revitalize MySpace.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum over here. All right. Thursday calls, Circle Prospecting in Mojo, 100 of the closest rooftops. You know what Circle Prospecting is?
You skipped Wednesday.
You missed past one.
What did I pass?
Wednesday.
Uh-oh. We lost a whole day. I take off Wednesdays. No? All right, so door knocking, 50 printed door hangers. So, you know, that's another resource right there. You can usually reach out to home warranty companies. Home warranty companies will usually provide you with the co-branded printed door hanger. So on one side could be your information, obviously. On the other side is the home warranty companies. Lenders typically don't do that. One thing you want to keep in mind is that it won't be able to be home specific.
Yeah.
Because it takes time to get those printed. And unless you have a home warranty person that's really kind of dedicated and checking in with you Monday morning and have you those by Friday, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
However, you can order 500 of these from your home warranty person, and they'll happily get them to you. And then you can go out, and this is a great little thing for door knocking. If you don't want to door knock and you want to just practice, if you want to go out and just see how it goes and see if anybody yells at you to get off their porch, this is a good one. You just go slide the door hanger on there, and you might get a phone call or two. You might say, if anything, you're doing TOMA, top of mind awareness, that you're in the area. They see you. It's a personal invite to the open house, maybe your card stapled to it, whatever it is. That's a good one. Door knocking, 50 printed door hangers. Okay, so add to portals. Portals being the MLS, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, better known as ZTR. Or if you're a KW agent, we have another one called KWLS, which is our own kind of intranet, right?
Listing service.
Listing service, right? So I don't know much about that. I know that usually hits our team of admins right there. They know a ton about KWLS. I'm kind of always scratching my head of what it actually does for us, but now let's get on to Thursday. Thursday is going to be calls, Circle Prospecting in Mojo, 100 of the closest rooftops. So I know you do this a lot. Expand on that a little bit, Marshall.
Well, you just pull it up and circle all the addresses that you need and start inviting the neighbors over to your house.
Okay. And they can go to what? Mojo, I believe it's mojosells.com.
Yep. Tell them it's an opportunity to choose their neighbors. So
right.
They have friends and family that they want to move in.
Yeah, you just think of a good script, right? And so if you need any of those scripts, you can obviously get on TSA. You can ask any of us for any type of script. There is, and we'll send it to you. Or it might be in the documents already for you to download. I'm not sure where we are with that. But just have fun with it. You're not selling anything. You're just inviting them over to an open house. Hey, we're having an open house on 123 Main Street. Wanted to invite you over.
You'd be surprised how many people are skeptical.
Yeah,
when you tell them that you're just inviting them.
Great chance for you to meet to pick your neighbors, to select your neighbors. And then if you laugh, it's a little leading. They laugh, and it lightens the mood a little bit, And just before you leave, say, hey, have you guys ever thought about selling? Nope.
Yep.
9.999 times out of 10, you get a no.
Cool. See you Saturday.
Which is fine, yeah. And just remind them, see you Saturday, see you tomorrow, see you whenever. Call any leads within your CRM that match this search criteria. So your customer resource management, if you're doing a great job of keeping a track of everybody looking for homes, if you're working with a clientele, this one happens to match their criteria, give them a call, send them a text, shoot them an email. Let them know what's going on. Come out. This house might not be for you, but you never know. Just come over and check it out.
Yeah.
You know, and just I hope to see you there. I'd love to just chat with you.
Yeah.
You know, and just come over. Open houses are boring. I want you there with me. You know, just and invite them over. You know. Friday, we're going to go ahead and prep your supplies. 25 signs minimum. Now, when we say this to people, Marshall, when people come over to us and go to our open house site that we have, and you have to sign up for our open houses, at least
They usually say, "What did you say?"
yeah, they read that and like, does this say 25 signs?
2 to 5, right?
Yeah, you're missing your dash there, your hyphen there. It's 2 to 5 signs. No, it's 25 signs. And they say National Association of Realtors says that for every sign that you put out, you get one group through. Yeah. And so I believe that's not necessarily the rule. That's not going to happen every time, but it is, you know, the exception that could happen. The more you throw out, the better your return would be, right? And so you got to leave yourself time for this also. So think about, you're going to put out 25 signs. Now, when we get into Saturday, we'll talk about the 25 signs a little bit more.
Yeah.
I would say with a bare minimum, roll with 15. You know, our standard's 25 is what we want. Balloons. So Friday, just have your balloons ready. You don't want to quite do your balloons yet. They won't keep for all the time in there, especially if the weather's a little bit colder outside. So it depends on the weather. It can go. Goofy things that you don't think about. So when you're loading balloons into the car, and you know, okay, let's touch on this again. Why balloons?
Because they wave around and they get attention, and people like a party.
Right. So we're pre-programmed our whole life with certain things. This was my take on it back when I was in a different business. I was in the bar business before, and someone had gave me wise words and said to always use balloons. Every weekend, use balloons. For every party, use balloons. Get tons of balloons outside to attract people. I'm like, why is that? That sounds kind of goofy. Balloons are kids. And he's like, well, just that. We've been pre-programmed our whole lives to associate balloons with a good time.
Yeah.
Birthday parties, anniversaries,
Races.
graduations, races.
Everything has balloons.
Everything.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Attached to it.
You don't have balloons at funerals.
No.
No. So, you know, we're going to go with like, it's all associated with a good time, right? And so you do this with an open house and you stock it with some balloons in some strategic places out by the sign, up by the front door. You don't really want them in the house. You know, you don't really want balloons all over the house. You might want a few just in case kids come in, you can tie it to their wrist. Mm-hmm. Parents aren't probably going to be too appreciative if they're playing with a balloon in the back of the car for the rest of the time they're out looking for homes. However, it's a thought that counts.
Pop it right in the right behind it, it'll be all right. Startle somebody.
So that was my take on balloons.
The kids will pull it though. I've seen some of the kids.
Oh yeah, they want them, and
now you can have it.
I'll post a video later about how to tie one extremely fast and efficient, so you're not over there wasting your time trying to tie knots. Also, when I get in the car, just a little hint: I like to buckle one of the back seat belts, and then you can loop the string underneath it and tie it, and then your balloons won't fly away.
Absolutely.
When you open the door.
That's one thing I was going to touch on was the transporting 25 balloons
I've
is a little bit
back before, and it's just like, no, half my party left.
I drove one of the first times I think I had mine. I was in my SUV, and the back hatch, I didn't close it all the way, I guess, and I came around the intersection over there in a certain neighborhood here and went through a 4-way stop, and it opened up, and all my balloons took off out the back. Oh. Yeah, I reached in back, and I caught 2 of them that were going out, and I still have I think I still have the picture of the sign that had 2 balloons on it on the corner, because there were like 30 open house signs, and I was the only one standing out that had 2 balloons on there. Nobody else had anything.
Also, if you have one on the sign, you're trying to get attention, you can tie another one to that balloon, and then go tie another one to that balloon and make a little daisy chain that they reach up to the sky.
Yeah, look at this. There's some high-level balloon stuff here.
Some other people want to do this. Haven't got to the store. I need to go actually to the store for the next one. They're saying the little pinwheels, the colorful ones, because it moves and it's colors,
reusable.
Especially as they're not going to deflate and stuff. It's just something to like different.
It's really anything, man. I mean, you can do flags of any sorts. I think one time I put on there in a group that I would recommend doing American flags or something, and I got jumped for. Why they got to be American flags?
Well, I put balloons on there one time and I got jumped. You know what you're doing to the earth?
You'll never be able to get anybody. We use biodegradable balloons.
With no non-helium.
Yeah, with organic air in them.
That's awesome.
But yard letters, okay. Yard letters took me a second to remember what these were, but we bought those letters that say open house. Those were cool. Where are those?
I got to get more. They disintegrated.
All right. Well,
they're like cardboard, and they just kind of.
Yeah, they were like $100. So
the ones we started using are the little, which at first I was like, these things are too small. It's like
the little flags.
No, the open house one, the real small triangles.
Yeah, the little flags. So what you do is you put them in the curb.
Yeah.
And you have them facing the house every 10 feet or every 5 feet. It's like a little border. It looks nice.
And so like at first I was like, this is gonna be too small. It's not really noticeable. Well, then I left the property and then came back, and sure enough, those things just catch your eye because it's something different that's kind of like low. Down by the curb?
It all works.
Yeah.
Sometimes Marshall's open houses can look kind of flea market-ish.
He does a lot of stuff that catches. He's got the little
I roll up, and I'm like, oh, where's the garage sale? You know, just he's got
the whole house.
But you rolled up.
Yeah, but I rolled up. I saw it. I didn't have to guess where the house was.
Yeah.
Is he doing this one or that one? Right. Right. Yard letters. So the yard letters. I don't know if I finished that sentence, so I'll just finish it again. We did. We bought open house. It would spell it out, and these are about 2 feet tall letters that had spikes in it. Yeah, people do them for happy birthdays or anniversaries or just a baby, things like that. We bought some for open house, and it works. It worked to get traffic over, but what it worked more with was the reason why we do open houses. The reason why I do open houses.
Yeah.
To impress the neighbors. Everybody gets bummed out always when the neighbors come over. I love when the neighbors come over because I'm interviewing for a job because I want to sell their home also. Yeah. And everything that I do, everything we do, sorry, Goose, shows that we take the extra effort, right? Yeah. And so when they're driving into their home and they're like, oh my God, another open house sign. Oh my God, another open house sign. Oh my gosh, another open house sign. And all of a sudden they get to their house and like, he says open house in 2-foot letters across the yard with more balloons, and it looks like a party's going on and there's cars everywhere. They're like, this guy knows how to market an open house. Yeah. Let's talk to him. Let's get into list reports flyers. We're back to list reports. We're back to list reports. It made the list, listreports.com. Go check it out. If you don't have it, it's a very cool tool. Breaks you down all the stats, a lot of the comparables for the area. It scores them and rates them, correct?
Yep.
Really cool. We can always put an example on the Top Shelf Agents page, which we can do. Let's go ahead and just do that. We'll throw it out there. This is List Reports and give you a link to it. We don't make anything off that. There's no affiliate link. I always like to play around and send us our money. The only ones that are paying us are nobody.
Friday's
I had to double check that list real quick. It's still nobody.
Friday's also the day I like to set up a Spacio, which is our guest sign-in sheet that we use on an iPad, and we have a little iPad stand. You can also use List Reports has a sign-in sheet.
Okay.
You can find them everywhere else.
What other there's Spacio? We've gone through some trials and
we might be getting rid of Spacio just because the platform that we have kind of has something similar. So I don't know if we're sticking with this platform or not, but Brivity has a sign-in sheet as well.
Okay. And what about? So there's Spacio, there's Open House Sign In. What are some other apps out there?
Open House Pro or something.
Open House Pro.
Some of them do
free.
Have some ups and downs to it. Yeah, there's some that are free. There's some.
Some are free. Some are paid. But I'll tell you, one of these legal tablets right here with well drawn out like name. Address, are you interested, or email, and do you have a realtor? Yes or no, check the box. And you fill those out legibly. The first two are fake examples really, or just maybe were carryovers from your last open house. People tend to follow suit with what's in those boxes, and if it's legible, they'll make it legible. Yeah. A good trick I've seen that I've done is actually when they're done signing in, let them walk the house, remember who they are, put your finger by their name, mark a little a mark real quick. However you can remember, and on the way out the door say, hey, thanks so much for visiting our open house. If I can do anything, blah, 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 here's my card. Is your email still this, Marshall Tucker at kw.com?
Yeah.
And just kind of spell it out for them. And that's Marshall, 2 L's, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Okay, I just wasn't sure. Just wanted to, you want the best information. You're investing 2 to 3, but more than that.
Yeah.
Go back and look at all these hours you're putting in through the week to get this open house done. You're putting 6-7 hours worth of work into one open house. You want to make sure that you're getting every piece of information from everybody walking in that door tactfully, right? I mean, you don't want to bug them. You don't want to hover them. You don't want to helicopter them and follow them around everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to not talk to them either.
Right.
True.
We go to open houses with clients.
Yeah.
And I mean, I maybe sometimes they just assume I'm an agent.
Well, one time I went and I was dressed kind of in, regular clothes. I wasn't dressed up. And we went in there and she never got off the table. She didn't ask us to sign in. She didn't follow us around. And then when it was time to leave, she was like, "Bye, y'all. Thanks for coming by."
Yeah.
And I was just kind of looking at her like, "What are you doing here?"
Well, some of them are some. I've been to some where you can see that they were well forced by probably the brokerage to go hold it open, or maybe by they didn't know much what they were doing. They didn't train, or they just didn't know any better, right? And so that's what we're doing is we're trying to bring to light some of the downfalls of this stuff. And these are all just suggestions. And this is the stuff that we do that we picked up. And like I said, Kyle Whistle has this great plan for open house, open bar, and I would love to shoot through that one of these days and kind of get but we haven't really done this. We've done it on a smaller scale. Not on a scale that they've done it on, it seems, or that they talk about they've done it on. Yeah. We've done wine and cheese and had people over, and we've done it in some areas that maybe the demographic was a little bit older, so we tried to do a little bit earlier, like do a happy hour, open house, open bar.
Yeah.
And so have people over at 5:00 to about 7:00, and then that's always weird to ask the sellers not to attend their own party.
Yeah.
At their house, And so we've done that with wine and cheese, and it worked out well.
Yeah.
It worked out well.
While we're still on Friday, if I'm having an open house on Sunday, I also like to try to get the signs out. It really depends on what city you're hosting the open house in. Sometimes they'll take your signs if you don't have a permit. But also I have a sign that says open Sunday, and then it has the time on there from 12 to 3. So anybody who's been driving by on Friday or Saturday, they know that Sunday 12 to 3.
Right. I've never used those, and I know that you use them, and that's probably why your open houses are always better than mine. I'm one of those agents that if I do it, I typically have the duty to fulfill to go over there to do it, and I'll catch up on work the whole time. I'll have my laptop open, the hotspot going, and I'm catching up on work, and I use it as an excuse to kind of get all that stuff done, and I don't go gung-ho. Now it's changed. It was much easier a year or two ago to get more listings and just kind of go through the motions of this stuff. Now, with everyone to provide more value, we've really had to kind of come up with a plan, and this is it, right?
Our swapping out, and like we did a couple times now, we've done back-to-back. Like I did it one day, and you did it the next day, or
right.
You
I set up the signs, and then you pick them up. And we just kind of leave them out.
And we just swapped out signs. Like last one, was it 2 weeks ago? I had the Saturday instead of me having the Sunday, and so we just left everything out and then swapped out the date for it. So everyone already saw that there was an open house.
Right.
They still see it out there. It's like, oh, well, I didn't get to it, and then you see like, oh, hey, there's a new date.
Was that the one time that you did pick up all the signs, and this open house happened to be about an hour away, and you picked up all the signs and brought them all the way back to the office? Yeah. So that agent went out there. That agent was Marshall Tucker. Went out there.
No, there's the signs in the garage. I just picked up a couple of them. Because some of the cities steal all your signs. That was my bad.
Mr. Steal your sign.
Yeah. That city's not stealing anything. No. They don't have the manpower to steal anything. That's Saturday. All right. Game time. Saturday. We're here. We've made it. We've made it through the week. The house didn't sell. It's the first week on the market. It's game time. 25 sign time, right?
Yep.
So we want to get out there at least 25 signs. What's it going to take, an hour?
Depending on the area. How many stops?
Yeah.
Like I said, sometimes I like to go out on Friday evening, and then I do that. I just put the kids in the car or the wife. They drive around, listen to music with me, and I'll put the signs out the night before, so I don't have to worry intently about getting there.
Okay.
Quick.
All right. Yeah. See, I've tried that before, and all my signs got gone. So.
Yeah, it depends on where you're at.
Yeah. Right outside Austin, there's an area called Hutto. They took all my signs. I went deep too. I had 25 signs. I just bought them all. Yeah, they were. I just bought them all. God dang. That's when I first got going. I barely had any money, and I invested in all those open house signs, and I was going to kill it. And I was an overachiever, and I went out that night, and I put them all out, showed up the next day. They were all gone. I was convinced a metal scrapper took them all. I shortly found out it was the city for sure, and you're not getting one up on the system by going out the night before. So,
that's rough.
Yeah. So.
Damn cities.
My next door, my next day, my open house was a bust.
Well, anyway,
because I had no signage.
Put the signs out. If you already have the signs out, get there at least 30 minutes or so early so you can set up your Spacio, set up your drinks and your music. I like to carry a little portable speaker with me as well. Put Pandora on there. A little bit of country music is what I normally put. Classical kind of puts people to sleep.
Yeah, something upbeat I always do. Just say, hey Alexa, take a Google Home with me. Or an Alexa, especially if the house is occupied and has a Wi-Fi, so we can take one of those and get it going and then just play whatever. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the music. Do you ever do the cookies?
We used to do cookies. My wife used to make the little house-shaped cookies, and we used to go overboard. But no one ever really took the cookies.
I was gonna say we had them at the townhome.
Well, this is such a fit area.
I just found myself donating them more than anything.
Yeah.
Like, here, you want a bunch of cookies?
Yeah, I ate more.
Yeah, you eat them all.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I was talking about too was creating that ambiance, of turning on the oven and bringing like a roll of cookies, bring in the raisin bran, not the raisin bran, but the what am I thinking here? Oatmeal.
Yeah, oatmeal raisin.
Oatmeal raisin cookies smell delicious when you're baking them. Instead of chocolate chip. I mean, really any cookie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll throw in the oven and basically just take the whole thing out of the container and just plop it onto a sheet tin and just leave it in there. And when it was done, you just throw it back in a bag and throw it away, But I mean, it was just to create the whole smell, in there and get that and you pop that on while you're out putting on signs. So by the time you walk into the house, it's there. So if you got anybody following you back, you ever had that? You get out all the signs and you got someone following you back the whole way.
I got people waiting.
Right. Yeah.
I had one guy roll up. I was there early. It was up in Georgetown. This cool little place had a nice good lot and everything. And so I set up all my signs, was going up there and go to, get in the house. And this car was slowly creeping up on me. I was like, drive by. I'm like, hello?
I don't mind if they're early. It's when they stay late.
Well, he's cruising up real slow and then just staring at me. I'm like, hi. He's like, hey, we're early. We're early, but can you let us in? I was like, yeah, sure. Let me just get in real quick.
Yeah.
You come out there and get your signs, and they just keep coming and keep coming. You got to keep opening the door, so you just wait till 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
grab all your signs.
If you're not early, it's just kind of the law. It's going to happen. If you show up unprepared, you're going to get whacked in that open house.
Yeah.
It's when you're over prepared, nobody shows up.
I mean, I didn't have my paper of all the sheets set up. I didn't have sign in. I literally hadn't even taken my bag off my back. I had all the signs out, made sure everything was laid out, and walked in. Good traffic.
One thing, let me jump back to Friday real quick. I had forgot this. One thing that really worked for us was you're the neighborhood expert. You're doing the open house over there. So whether you are the neighborhood expert or not, that's how you're going to really present yourself the next day. Yeah. So do the comps. So roll through the properties, find 5 to 10 properties in the immediate area within 1 to 2 mile span that are really comparable to the house you're doing an open house for, and say, if this one doesn't work for you, check these out. And we put them in a book, actually, and we would call it the hot property book. And I did a little fire thing on there, and I put hot property on it, and was certainly cheesy. However, it got people's attention because it was nice and red and whatever else. But they would open it up and they would see all the homes in there. Yeah. And so this is why I like doing open houses with 2 people, is because we would create so much activity that if somebody wanted to see something, I could tell the person doing the open house, hey, I'm going to run across, I'm going to run down, we're going to hop in the car, we're going to do whatever, I'm going to go show 1 or 2 more homes, I'll be back in 30 minutes to an hour. Yeah. And if even that, it typically wouldn't take you that long. Yeah. Or a lot of times you wouldn't have people take you up on it, but they'll want to see property after 4 o'clock or the next day. If it's Saturday, they want to go out on a Sunday, they'll give you a call. It's a good reason. It's like you can have multiple of those information sheets that you can just pass on to them and take it with you, that's branded with all your stuff on it. Yeah. Now you just look like you're a little bit more prepared. You know the comps, you know the area. Look, homes are selling for over here. How do these people arrive at the price? If it's not your listing, you might not know. Yeah. So find that out beforehand. Hey, it seems to be homes over there selling for $400,000 every day. Why did your seller and you choose to come in at $425,000? What do I tell these people at the open house when they clearly see that it's $25,000 over the last 4 homes that sold over there? Yeah. Know what you're talking about. Yeah. And then if you don't know what you're talking about, do what?
Ask.
No, yeah, exactly. Well, tell them that's a great question.
That's a great question, James.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I'll find out.
Follow back up with them.
Right. And that way, even if you know the answer, a lot of times that's a good one just to be able to reach back out to them to provide clarity.
Yeah.
You know the answer. You're not quite clear on it. You can kind of BS your way through it. Don't. Just wait till you have the right answer, and that puts them in line for another touch.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a good one that works. Saturday, we're back to Saturday now. Put out some drinks and some snacks. We've already talked about that. I do branded water bottles.
When I first started, I used to carry one of those big coolers in there with ice and canned sodas and everything. Again, it was just me drinking them.
Yep. Well, because people don't want anything from you.
Yeah.
They feel if they take something from you, now they got to give you something. And giving you something is what? A deal.
Yeah.
A contract.
Yeah.
They don't want to do that. They're scared. All right, set up music, set up the iPad. I feel like we've already been over these. Put out your signs, be early. It's okay to show up early. Don't open the door until it's time. Track your pins so you know where to pick them up. Go over that real quick.
Well, if you're in a crazy congested neighborhood, you might actually start losing your signs or get turned around. So on Google Maps, you can drop pins and actually see where you left all your signs. I like to breadcrumb it, so I go up to the house first and I set up the house with all the open house signs, and then I start from that house and I start exiting the neighborhood. And as I'm exiting the neighborhood, I'll put one on each corner until I get to like a major intersection, and then I'll load it up with 2 or 3 or 4 signs. And as I come back, if I decide that the stretch from one street to another street is too long, I'll put a sign just in the middle of the street. I'm sure James has seen me do that before, and I just call it breadcrumbing, so no one gets lost, and then no one's following your signs around and they can't find an open house. So that's why I always start at the house first.
I seen it.
Pull it back out.
I seen it.
Another thing I like to do when I'm inside the open house and I'm speaking with someone, like you were saying earlier, it's not my listing. So I just tell them straight up, like, hey, this isn't my listing. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. Give me your honest feedback. And so that way I can, at least.
And some people will let you have it. Most people
you're not the listing agent? Okay, I'll tell you everything about this house.
Yeah, this house is garbage. I couldn't agree more. I got stuck here. I lost a bet. But what other things before we wrap this episode up?
I've got a projector before and played Spider-Man on there. And just had it going in one of the bedrooms. So when the family showed up, the kids kind of gravitated to that room and kind of stayed in there and watched Spider-Man, and the adults were walking around the house.
I would say that was good luck for you, because I remember that open house where you're like, oh yeah, I was just back here watching Spider-Man. This dude walks in and ends up buying the place. Yeah. He didn't buy that place.
Hector.
Yeah, he didn't buy that place, but he was interested in that place. He didn't qualify for that place. He qualified for one similar. Yeah, so that's from an open house.
Yeah.
We've closed, I think we have a dollar amount on our open houses. Out of, X amount of dollars worth of business last year. I think we definitely did over $1 million plus in open houses.
So people were I don't know if you saw the post earlier, the internal Facebook one. Well, I guess the conversations had been, are we really getting any business from doing open houses? That people were questioning that.
Who said that?
Those are the one or two sign people.
Yeah, possibly. But they were questioning it. And so Coach Melanie brought on one of the guys, and they did a quick little video together and saying like, hey, I just got a buyer and closed on a deal, with somebody I met from the open house. Or what was it? I think it might have been actually on that house that he had the open house for. And so it was just kind of like validating that this is in fact true. These they do happen, and not everyone, just because they're seeing the house, obviously they're not always going to buy that one, but they could buy more.
No, 100%.
The people out at open houses, they're ready to buy.
Buyers are ready to buy. So if you're gauging buyers by the analytics of how they do search, right? So homes for sale in Austin.
Yeah.
Right? Homes for sale in New York. Homes for sale. Those people typically, what the numbers show, the stats show, are 13 to 18 months out. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Okay. And so that's a nurture of 13 to 18 months. Who wants to work those? All of us, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Not me.
It's like a drip campaign.
Right. I want to work on the immediate folks that are out to buy and sell at this moment. And where do I find those people? Open houses.
Open house.
And And so when you get a little bit more drilled down search, if you get more of a drilled down search and, homes for sale, Austin, 13, 18 months. So let's go to a specific neighborhood. Homes for sale in Balcones. Yeah. Like that's a little bit more drilled down, right? So now they're 6 months. Yeah, they're 6 months to 12 months out, right? Mm-hmm. And so now have drilled down even further. Yeah. Now you're looking for homes for sale on the specific streets that are in there, or open houses in Balcones. Like that's a great search. So if you're getting those folks, those folks are 3 to 6 months out, right? And so typically, now people are in their car driving around. They're taking the effort. They're out doing the labor now, right? So they're going to open houses. They're going to builders. They're doing those type of things. Yeah. Those people are 0 to 90 days away from pulling the trigger, right? And so that's what we consider the low-hanging fruit, right? And so those for sale by owners that we pound on a lot, and expireds and withdrawals. And open houses, those are the 4 best ways to get business immediately within 0 to 90 days and jumpstart your career. Yeah. Right? Most people wait in this business. I'm saying most agents wait till they attract business. They get a friend that wants to buy. They come into the business. What do you mean by that?
You think that it's just going to just gravitate towards you?
Right.
It just magically comes your way?
It's not.
No.
Well, you got to.
It takes a while.
Which brings me back to Saturday, Facebook Live.
Facebook Live in front of the house.
Yep. And through the house.
Those are boring.
They can be, especially if it's just you and an empty house.
It depends on
how you don't know what to say, or there's not.
Well, there's so many people doing it. Like I'm not gonna
shaky hands.
Yeah. I'm gonna recommend you do it. However, everybody else is doing it.
I mean,
Do something unique.
Yeah.
Do something unique. Do a giveaway. Go live and do a giveaway. Tell them if they stop by, you're going to give them a $25 gift card to Amazon.
Yeah. Or you do the $5 Starbucks or something, or coffee thing.
Yeah.
Dumping a ton of money into stuff.
We did that.
Actually, yeah.
I mean, no one's going to show up for a $5 gift card. However, people will stop by and see the house for a $25 gift card. Yeah. You're not paying them $25 to show up. They need to come enter into a raffle or a giveaway for it. And you can use Facebook Live to really kind of jump that inventory. I mean, jump the views on that to try to get people over, persuade people. They might be your friends. Guess what? Friends need houses too. Friends sell houses. Friends buy houses. Yep.
I knew for, speaking of like Facebook and stuff, a friend of mine, they do raffles for shares. So like they'll do an open house or a coming soon or something like that. And then they'll just do however many shares you do, you'll get entered into.
Yeah, we used to do that all the time. Back when Yetis were first getting going and it was hard to find Yetis, I had an in at Yeti, and so I could buy them in bulk.
That's where the Yeti thing started?
Yeah, that's why I have way too many of them laying around the office. All the ones I didn't give away, I
was laughing at the stack of Yetis on the shelf last week.
Yeah. Like, hey. I took them all home. Yeah. I got the same response when I brought them in the house. Like, why are you bringing all those here? I think you need one. Like, I don't know.
But those are good because it gets more traction. You're going to get more eyes on it. You're going to get other people who's not necessarily in your sphere or who actually would pop up. Your content would pop up to them because it's not really relevant for them in how they're interacting. Have more likely to see it.
Toma. Yeah. Top of mind awareness. Create it. Yep. You create top of mind awareness. Yeah. You get people to think about you. Yeah. You have to do this. You have to take the steps every day to stand on top of a mountain and say, look at me, look at me, look at me. I sell real estate. Yeah. No one's going to do it for you. Osmosis isn't going to happen. No. They're just not going to show up because you're a swell person. Yeah. They're going to show up because they're in the market to use a professional. They're in the market to buy a house, to sell a house, to look at houses, to get their problem solved. Yeah. And they're going to do that because you are going to represent yourself so well in an open house. They're going to see what a professional you are. And then you're going to create that know, like, and trust. You're going to get to know them. Yeah. They're going to get to like you. And then they're going to be able to trust you. And then refer to top shelf agents over to Marshall's funnel that he created. Then they're going to try you. Yeah. And then buy from you or sell from you. Yeah. And then repeat.
Refer and repeat.
Refer and repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Yeah.
That was a good graphic.
Great graphic.
Yeah. And little people.
Little people.
I'm not even a great artist.
That's apparent.
Yeah. You got the job done. It was actually pretty funny.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this of the open house checklist from 3 guys that do open houses but aren't the best at them. So we have to refer to this guide all the time. I want to thank our sponsor, Mike Harrell over at Guaranteed Rate. He is able to do mortgages where?
Texas, California, and
Was it Louisiana?
Arkansas.
It's Arkansas. Singular, not plural. Anyway, all right, man. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, at least I knew it. So Mike Harrell, Guaranteed Rate. Mike Harrell, Guaranteed Rate. We love this guy. Top Shelf Agents. Let's talk to you about Top Shelf Agents real quick. What is Top Shelf Agents?
It is our community on Facebook. It's going to be our way to provide content to everybody, from new agents to ones who are sharpening their skills and they're expanding their wheelhouse, but really just to repackage and add content and provide for people who want to stay in the business and succeed.
For sure.
Without cutting people down. You see that in some other stuff.
Hopefully it's going to be all positive and remain positive. We got some top-notch moderators in there. Yeah. Top-notch moderators. I know that me, James Mendez, Marshall Tucker were moderators. Alicia Hooper wasn't able to join us today. Who else we got? We've got some top people from around the country, some top realtors that really aren't going to put up with the BS of cutting each other down. We really want to build everybody up. This is that type of career that really takes the positivity every day you approach it. It's a hard job. This is a hard job. It's simple. It's just not easy. And so, when people ask a question and need an answer, I like Top Shelf Agents to be the place that they can go and have that provided for them. Go into the search
without the snarky.
Without the snarky BS. Usually you get the snarky from me, but only on podcasts. Anyway, all right. Well, we're going to wrap this one up. We certainly appreciate it for the top. Oh, by the way, what else? The 5-star reviews.
5-star reviews.
You got to start remembering that. That's why you don't have any freaking reviews.
We have one.
Oh, nice. Was it me?
Yeah. It was you.
Great show, y'all.
Great show, guys.
On your platform of choice, we need the ratings and good, honest feedback from what everyone thinks about the show, content, and if there's anything they want to hear or guests that they think would be great value to be interviewed. We definitely want that. And
let us know your struggles.
Yeah.
So we can help you.
So they can, if for that kind of stuff, email us at info@realestateontherocks.com, and then reviews. Obviously, we'd love to hear from you guys on every major platform. It's on Google, iPod, or iTunes, SoundCloud.
They get it.
iHeartRadio, everything.
All right. Cool. Let's wrap it up. Play us out, James. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Dave Snowberger, Marshall Tucker, James Mendez.
Gone.